via Zoom for us to continue our conversation. Mr. Adelayo, thank you so much. I was asking you, what is responsible for this reduction, or should I say drop in price that we see in recent times? Everyone is excited.
Yes, and it's absolutely wonderful time to be a Nigerian. I mean, some relief from the hard times that we faced. Some of the things that have caused is like the harvest season. There was a bumper harvest season towards the end of last year. The appreciation of the naira is another factor that has caused it to happen. The reduction in the fuel price, for example, the price of petrol has been coming down. That affects the cost of logistics, which means that getting things from the rural place to the urban markets is a lot cheaper. And then, of course, the appreciation of the naira. So those are, four key things that have caused the prices to come down. So it's good news, good news. I mean, not all farmers are happy about it because, some of the farmers, the cost of the inputs was a lot more than what they're able to sell. And there's also the fact that the purchasing power of the Nigerian is not as strong. So there's a kickback to high prices. And so the prices have to keep coming down.
So you think we can sustain this? Because I'm looking at some of this, how should I say, like you're saying that a reduction in price of fuel and all of this. How sustainable is this moving forward?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, because right now the prices are still likely to go lower. There's also the fact that many of the prices that are showing in the market, they are not reflecting to the end users, In our sector, for example, the cost of maize has gone drastically low, but the cost of feed hasn't gone down. The cost of eggs hasn't come down. So it's hard to say. I do think that it will come down a bit more, but around June, July, August, where the seasonality of the harvest starts to change, it may or may not pick up. So in the next few months, I think that we will still have some good time with the prices coming down, and it might pick up a bit later.
What other major challenges would you say farmers are grappling with at this very time? And some say it's brilliant looking at the establishment of the Ministry of Livestock that has also a saving grace for the ministry at this time. Do you agree to that?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. The Ministry of Livestock, I've said it before in your program, it was a brilliant idea by Mr. President to have a Ministry of Livestock, and they've hit the ground running. They've started to go around the states and speak to players and start to put the funding. Now the budget is out. I guess we can begin to feel their impact. To talk about farmers, what do farmers face? The cost of fertilizer, the cost of seeds, the cost of inputs, the cost of running irrigation equipment. Those are major challenges, and the cost of funding. There is still that age-long problem of storage and preserving to prevent losses in the market, which is one area FACO plays well in grain storage and silos. But if you do look at some of these challenges, they are the problems farmers face. And so right now, the prices are lower, but the farmers may not on the long run be able to recoup their investments in the agricultural space.
I'm also looking at federal government's efforts. There is this renewed energy, and everyone talks about it for to boost supply and all of that. How would you also assess this?
Clearly, it's working. I mean, whatever the government is doing, I mean, they should do more of it. Like I said, the appreciation of the naira, the lower prices in fuel, the bumper harvest. But some things that we can do more of is to invest in storage solutions. You see, most of these things are seasonal, and we are benefiting from the high of a season. So it's like a trifecta of amazing things happening at the same time. The bumper harvest, lower petrol prices. But by the time it gets to the season where the prices get higher, what do we do? Now, if we invest in storage, we can have an equilibrium for pricing. Of course, there's the commodities exchange now, which means that we can look at the futures, so we can look at the possibilities of buying grains further down the line, which can create in its own self the incentive for investment and price stability. But all in all, I think whatever is being done, the push, the initiative in the ministries, we need to do more of that so we can have a consistent result for what we're getting. Because the people need a reprieve from the hard times we faced in the past year.
Finally, what's your outlook considering the performance of the sector in the just released Q4 GDP figures? The agricultural sector didn't do as well as expected.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I mean, and you well aware that the NBS rebased the basket with which it uses to gauge inflation. But regardless of whatever it is, inflation has dropped, and it's clear that inflation will continue to drop. I'm sure that the more inflation drops, the NPC meetings and then the interest rates will go further down, and then there will be an increase in the possibilities for investments. Really, what we need to do is invest. I mean, we have to invest in agriculture. We have to invest in the value chains of agriculture. That's how we can keep it sustainable. I mean, it's amazing that unlike many other the times in the past, during Ramadan, food prices go really high. But this time it's gone lower, and so it's a good thing at this time of the year. But investing in the agricultural sector will ensure that we can continue to replicate this success and make it better.
Well, interesting conversation as always with you, but that's our time. Mr. Adelayun, thank you so much. Hope to see you in Lagos very soon. Managing Director of FACO West Africa Limited, we appreciate your time on the show.
Thank you, Tolu. Good speaking with you.